Hello, thank you for joining us today on the Profit Scale Thrive podcast, where we guide attorneys to overflowing profits, scaled growth, and thriving lives. I am your host, Kelly Brubaker. We have a secret though. This is a special place because we don't work with every law firm owner. We support the solo attorneys who are also single parents because we know the special challenges you face, and we know the business advice out there is not always practical for you and your firm. Each week, we will talk about things that will give you the insight you need to stop feeling overwhelmed, to gain back your confidence, and to finally enjoy your law firm and your life again. Welcome back to the podcast. And for those who are seeing this in video, I'm going to apologize right now. It's been a rough week. I've got the ball cap on, t-shirt on, but something majorly impactful happened this week, and it became the catalyst for this episode. Couldn't contain my excitement, so I wanted to get this recorded while it was still top of mind. I live in a small little town. It's actually not even a city, it's a township, and we're about halfway between downtown Akron and downtown Cleveland in Ohio. And being where I live, it's not even an option to have city-provided water because I'm that far out in the country. And my house was built on a very thick bed of rock, so we can't even drill a well. My house is fed by a cistern, meaning rain falls, hits the roof, comes into my gutters. The gutters are piped into the ground. Into the cistern is a big holding tank that's in my front yard underground. And then water comes in to the house. When it comes into the house, it gets filtered multiple times, treated, filtered again, and then it comes out of the faucets. And I've lived in this house, 7 or 8 years now, and it's never been an issue. In October, we had no water, and I panicked because being a cistern, it's a finite source of water. I think it's maybe a 10,000 gallon tank. So my whole house runs on whatever water can be held in this cistern. So of course my first thought was the cistern's dry. I have a big stick. It's literally a big stick. It's 10 or 12 feet tall, and it's only like a 1 inch by 1 inch stick, but it's really big. And so I grab the stick, I run out. Nope, full cistern, full of water. Oh no, what's happening? Here, there's a water pressure tank, which is the exact same mechanism that if you have a well that supports your house. So the water pressure tank then creates the pressure to push the water out into all the faucets throughout the house. And it had gone bad. It had a hole in it. And so once there was a hole, it can't create pressure anymore. So now it can't function. I didn't have a plumber. Haven't needed one in years. And actually, between my ex-husband or my dad or a neighbor, I've always had somebody who has been able to help me with my issues. So I didn't know any plumbers. So what do I do to find a plumber? I had remembered there being several different posts on a local Facebook group. So I jump into that group. I search because I don't even want to waste time with posting and then getting answers because I knew this was something that had been asked about multiple times. So I jump into that group on Facebook. I start searching for plumber, and I find a couple different references. It ends up there's maybe 3 different plumbing companies that are always recommended by everybody. So I go to the first one. I call them. Now, and this is urgent, right? So I call, they answer. I don't even think the phone rang one full ring, and they already answered, which was amazing because I was in a panic. And the lady who answered, she's, oh my gosh, I am so sorry this is happening. I completely understand, but I'm down a guy today. I had somebody call out, and I'm struggling to service the calls we already had scheduled for today. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And she's like, no, don't panic. She goes, I have other companies I can refer you to. And I'm like, seriously? And she goes, well, yeah, obviously you can't wait until tomorrow. And I said, true. So first off, I'm impressed that she answered the phone like immediately as soon as I called. Second, She understands my situation. Third, she's upfront and honest with me that she cannot help me. There's just no way that her company is going to be able to make it to my house that day. Fourth, she recommends me to a competitor. And it ends up being the second name I already had on my list. I said, okay, you know what? I'm good. I'll go ahead and call them next because they were actually the second on my list that I already had because I had collected the information from my Facebook group, right? So I profusely was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so gracious that you answered, you were able to talk to me, and that you pointed me into a different direction. So we hang up. I call the next place. Again, this place answers the phone on the first ring, was like, I completely understand your situation. And he says, I have teams of 2 guys. I just dispatched them. They're within like 15 minutes of your house. I will tell them when they're finished with the job they just got dispatched to, I will route them over to you. We'll get you taken care of. And they did. Within not even an hour, they were already at my house. It was amazing. I took them to the basement. They knew exactly what the problem was. They were able to fix it. They actually had the part I needed right there on their truck, and it was fixed. Amazing, right? So I'm already excited. Now, I will tell you at this point, at no point did I ever ask how much this was going to cost, because it really didn't matter what the price was, because I needed water in my house. You can't have a functioning house without water. So the price came in. It was maybe about 25% higher than what I expected the price to be. But at that point, I was like, ouch, but I am so grateful that you were here. You got me like back up and running, got the house fixed. This is amazing. I'm happily writing the check. So I pay them, they leave. This was back in October. So fast forward to this week, which is now 6 weeks out. And my youngest daughter's taking a shower. She's in the middle, shampooing the hair and all that. She screams down, Mom, there's no water. And I'm like, okay, seriously, this wasn't funny to deal with 6 weeks ago. Because my kids are always playing games with me. They're always joking me and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, seriously, love you, but not funny. I don't have the capacity this week to deal with this again. Okay. She's, Mom, I'm being really serious. Oh. So I go downstairs, and yep, the water pressure tank, it's empty, and there's a little pressure gauge on it. It's at 0. It's actually below 0. And no matter what I did, there's a little switch on it. No matter what I did, couldn't get the pressure gauge, like the motor, to kick on to create the pressure to pull the water in and do all the things that it needs to do. So my limited knowledge, I can tinker with the little things. I do some of the troubleshooting. I'm thinking maybe it's not getting electric. So I go to the fuse box, I check. I have 2 fuse boxes. It's crazy. I check every single, thing, all the breakers, nothing has flipped. The one that's labeled water pump, I actually flipped that on and off. It hadn't been tripped, but that didn't kick it. It didn't kickstart any of it. So I'm like, oh, now maybe we did run out of water this time. I don't know. So again, grab my big stick, run out, check the water level. No, it's full. I'm like, oh, now I'm in trouble. So I call, and I'm like, my heart's beating because I'm thinking, oh, I don't like to get these calls from clients myself. So I call, and again, they answer first ring. I'm like, hey, I don't know that you're going to remember me, which is irrelevant at this point because I need you to help me. This is what I'm going through. And he goes, oh my gosh, I do remember you. I'm so sorry. I just sent my guys out, but I will get them to you. And he goes, but I don't know when. I can't give you a time. And I said, it's fine. Just whenever you can get them routed to me. So maybe an hour and a half later, the truck shows up at the house. And again, they come in, at first they start to panic me. It could be this and it could be that. But I'm like, I'm just going to take a deep breath because I just have faith things are going to work out. The guys are poking around, doing their troubleshooting. They yell up because they're in the basement. I'm upstairs on the main floor. They yell up. They're like, ma'am. And I said, yeah. And they're like, we figured out what it is. So the new water pressure tank we installed, the gauge part, it had a bad switch in it. So we've got the part in the truck. We're just going to switch it out. And I'm like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, it turned out to be something simple. I'm like, oh, thank God. So they do their thing. They're wrapping up. They're like, hey, we're just going to let you know I have a walkout basement. So they didn't have to walk back up the stairs to see me. And they're like, hey, we're walking out. We're wrapped up. We're done. And I said, okay, well, how much do I owe you? And they're like, nothing. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, it was a bad part on equipment we just installed for you. So that's covered under warranty. And I said, yeah, but you guys had to come here and you have a service call, right? And they're like, yeah, we called our boss and he said, no, it's not right to charge. We just put this thing in. We've got it all handled for you. I had been having a bad week already. And so to hear somebody say, I've got you, was, I can't even tell you the impact. It was a major, like, I'm going to start tearing up now as I think about it. So I'm like, okay, now my mind's racing because at this point I've just had a lot I've been dealing with. And then the stress of all this going on. I thought it's a work day. I need to get into the office. I've got some stuff going on. So I take a really quick shower. I get dressed, get ready, head to my office. As I get in my car, I thought, I told the guys how amazing they were and how grateful I was. But I need to convey that personally to the business owner. So I call back and I said, hey, I called this morning, we talked, you sent the guys to my house. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, is everything okay? Because like they already called me and said everything was done. And I said, yes. I said, this is an amazing call because I said, I need you to know how amazing you and your guys are. I said, I did expect that to be included under a warranty because they had told me there was a warranty when I had the equipment installed originally. What I didn't expect is that I didn't have to pay for the service, for the labor part of it. And he goes, no, it's okay. Under the circumstances, I didn't feel right charging you. And I said, okay, but as a business owner myself, and I'm a CPA, I crunch numbers all day long. I completely understand that even though the equipment you can send back to the manufacturer and get that replaced, and that becomes no cost to you as a business owner, you still had to pay the labor. So your guys, you still had to pay that. It prohibited your guys from going to another appointment who were going to pay you in full. I just needed to tell you, thank you. Like, you don't know what this means to me. And of course, I'm crying on the call and I'm like, I've got to get off the call because I'm just going to cry some more. And he's, you know what? He goes, I'm just going to say Merry Christmas. And hopefully this changes how your week has been. So I do think that things have changed for the better. So amazing. I hang up from that call and I think, oh my gosh, I got to them because I went to a local Facebook group where recommendations had already been made. And then the more I saw those names repeated over and over, gave me social proof that this was going to be an amazing company. And they did not let me down. And then it started me thinking, you know what the noise is we hear on the internet? We're usually hearing the Karens, and I think the guys are called Kens. I don't remember. We're usually, the noise we hear the most are the negative reviews. Don't go there. Don't use that service. Don't do this, blah, blah, blah. Why can't we change and have more positive in the world? So, long story short, is that I just want to throw out there, be more intentional about putting good in the world and to even target that even more. And this will be two-pronged. One, because I do fully believe in my heart, and I've always believed this, if you put good in the world, it will come back to you in spades. So let's do that. Let's put good in the world. I challenge you, at least once a week, can you leave a positive review online where people can see it? For a business, a small business, whether you personally know the owner or if it's your best friend's business or your, family member, your cousin's business or whatever it is, can you leave and I'm talking honest, authentic, real review, not a fake, not just find a company and leave, oh, hey, they do good stuff. I'm talking about seriously a small business, because small businesses are what, like 90% of all the businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy. Okay. Let's put some good in the world. Can you do at least one review a week of a small business you have interacted with, done business with, and post that publicly somewhere? I don't care if it's on your social media account, if it's some type of a group, online group, or if it's somebody that's asking for advice. Can you recommend a business that you do business with? And then second, here's the second part of this is, do you ask your clients for public reviews that you can then post or share, depending on how they send them to you? This is something that I've just started actually. I've been in business 18 years, and only in the recent have I started asking clients for public, like reviews that I can publicly share. So if you don't already have some type of a review request, can you incorporate that in your business? I don't really know how to tell you how to do that. For me, it depends on how I work with clients. So I have clients that I work with for coaching, and they're defined programs, like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So usually somewhere in the middle of that experience, I have an email, and it's a system email. But if I don't do this systematically, I will forget to do it. So I have my CRM will automatically send out an email so many days after I start a project with a client that'll say, hey, just checking in, wanted to see how things are doing. If you have any comments back to me, please let me know. You can either reply back to me, or if you think that we've been giving you 5-star service, will you please give us a public review? And then I link them right to my Google page. I can't remember where all I like 3 links. If you are on any of these social media platforms, or if you would love, if you do a video review, you can upload it here, and then I'll put it on my website or my socials, and let me know how I can refer to you. Can I put your first name, last name? Can I put your full name, or can it do we just want to do like first name, last initial? However you want to do that, just let me know. I will, accommodate that request, because this is huge for me. And so I'm just getting started with this project. But here's the things. Online reviews, now that we're in the age we are, I mean, this is the end of 2023, the start of 2024. Online presence is huge. But let's talk about some of the benefits of online reviews. So they will help your business with increased visibility and credibility, because positive reviews can enhance your small business's online presence and attract more clients. And then potential clients often rely on reviews so that they can make informed decisions. And then a positive online reputation can build trust. And then word of mouth marketing. So online reviews serve as a form of a digital word of mouth, spreading positive experiences and recommendations. And positive reviews can act as endorsements, encouraging others to hire you for the services that you offer. Now, I do say I have always been generous publicly with my reviews. It's been very, very rare in my life that I've done a negative review online. Okay. If I have negative feedback, that goes directly to the company. I don't share that publicly. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why I do that. Part of it is because I feel like that's bad karma, because it could have just been an off day. So I'll just leave that at that. But if you then start to monitor your online reviews, and most platforms will let you comment back. So you get a review, as the business owner, reply back to it. Thank you. We loved working with you, something to that effect. Then that even sparks more positive support, because responding to reviews, hopefully they're mostly positive, I'm sure they are, but even if they're negative, it allows the business to interact and show your integrity. So even if it's a negative review, you reply with integrity back, it starts to counterbalance the negative if it's a negative review. But when you do interact, whether they're positive or negative, it demonstrates a commitment to your customer satisfaction. Reviews that are posted online also help with your SEO. So search engine optimization, if you don't know what that is. That is the mechanism, right, how people go into Google or Bing or whatever your search browser is. You type in, I'm looking for XYZ. I'm looking for legal services. I'm looking for an accountant. I'm looking for a doctor. SEO is the things that are on my website, your website, that Google, Bing, whoever can see that says, oh, this is a relevant item to what they're searching for. And then it grabs your page and serves it up as an option. So online reviews will contribute to your online presence and help with your search rankings, especially because reviews posted by somebody else, not the business. The more reviews you have, you have a competitive advantage. So a business with a strong collection of positive reviews can stand out among your competitors. Prospects and leads are more likely to choose a business that has more favorable reviews over ones that have little to no online feedback. And then it becomes free marketing for you. So positive reviews are free marketing and advertising for your small business. And your satisfied clients become brand ambassadors by promoting the business to their networks through their reviews. Because depending on how they post, especially if it's online on a social media platform, their friends can usually post their review, which then it's the grassroots effect. And review will build trust and authenticity. So authentic reviews from real clients, they build trust by offering genuine insights into your customer service and the services that you offer. And honestly, as much as I don't like to give negative reviews, and obviously nobody ever likes to get negative reviews, having one negative review or two negative reviews, and it's counterintuitive, actually helps your online presence because it then shows people the positive ones are valid. And you know this because nowadays I've seen so many, like I don't even do Amazon reviews anymore. I used to do Amazon reviews, read them before I bought, depending on what it was. I now know that so many vendors are able to buy the reviews, and buying is not the right word, but it is. I'll send you a free product if you give me a 5-star review. So I don't trust the Amazon reviews anymore. And you'll always have that. You're always going to have people who have either left a review on the wrong business page, which that's easy because you go back and respond and say, hey, thank you for taking the time to respond or to post a review. However, I've searched through our records and we don't have a record of doing business with you. So I think this might be the wrong business page. But to have 100% 5-star reviews, that's suspicious. So a couple negative reviews are actually going to help the credibility that all the other positive reviews are valid reviews. So these are just some of the things. I just listed off, 7 or 8 different benefits for your business of having online reviews and for the businesses that you give online reviews to. So hopefully this will persuade you to be more active with doing reviews for small businesses that you interact with on a routine basis, at least. Also inspires you to put in some type of program where you can start to collect client reviews, utilize those so that you can, share them on your social media page, amplify the good that you're doing with your business. So let me know what you think. I'd be curious to see who has review processes already put in place. And for those who don't, what your thoughts are you going to go ahead and put some type of review process in place? I'd love to know. So one thing before I wrap this up, I just wanted to throw it out there again. If you're interested, I'm hosting a free online event, December 15th, 2023. It's at noon Eastern. It's an interactive work session. And we're going to go through step-by-step how to create your 2024 business plan. And at the end of the hour that we have together, you will have your custom business plan for 2024. But space is limited. There's only 25 spots and some have been booked. So you need to register to be able to get the link to attend this event. I will leave the link in the show notes. And so funny cast, I forgot that I actually do this at the end of every podcast episode. So if you have questions about today's episode, please let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment below or send me an email to podcast@profitscalethrive.com. And if you know someone who might need to hear this information, please share this episode with them. Or if you're on YouTube, you can tag them below. Be sure to follow and subscribe to get notifications for future episodes. Did you enjoy this episode? Please consider leaving a review. And before I go, remember, profit is something you intentionally plan for in the beginning. It's not a potential bonus at the end of the year. Thanks and have a great day.